What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K, and we are back with an expanded panel. This is the new SSC podcast. Like I said, we're going to be opening up the platform. We're going to be having new people in here. Some will be swinging through here in addition to me and Project Storm regularly, some here and there, and all that other good stuff. But no further ado, we're expanding for you. I know that was a cheesiest line. It's the only thing I can think of right now. All right, enough with me. Let me go over to our panel. First and foremost, let's talk to our good brother, Project Storm. Storm, how you doing today, man?
Hey, busy day at work, man. But guess what? There's always games to look forward to, as well as family, y'all. You know, family first, games right after that. That's how I feel about it, at least, man. But I'm ready to jump into it because there's some topics that we need to talk about, as always. But man, I'm hearing some great things about some recent releases and all that stuff. I was on a couple of those games myself, man. So I'm just ready to talk about it all, MM2K.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with no further ado, we really didn't let you know until like the last minute who our special guest was. It's been long overdue. We've been talking to our brother for some time. He's like, what's going on, man? When am I coming on the channel? I said, I got you. It's our good brother and the community's own Peter Cottontail. Peter,
Yes,
what's
sir.
going on, man?
Hey,
How you
what's
doing,
up,
man?
everybody? I'm doing pretty good, man. I already had a long day at work. I'm glad to be off work. The benefits of early shifts. Now I get to sit back, game, and I have been excited to come on the show for quite some time, so I'm pretty ready.
Absolutely,
That's what's
absolutely. I've been checking you out on Cowboy stuff, and I'm like, dang, everybody else done beat me to the punch, and I've been talking to him for a minute. We got to get him on here, man. So with that said, we want to introduce everybody to what we're going to be talking about today in episode 74 of SSC Podcast. We're going to be talking about our thoughts of the Darksiders 3 port. Did it fix our angst over 60 frames per second? In some cases it may have, in some cases it may not have. Some people are like, nah, I got too much of a bitter taste from the last go around. So we'll talk about that. We're going to also talk about how Stadia stacks up against the almighty NPD. Now somebody might say, well, is that a new rap artist? No. You'll if you haven't heard of who NPD is, we're going to break it down for you and get you acclimated and all that good stuff. Also, we're going to be talking about more games on the platform. I had the pleasure of playing one before we went live. Woo! Man, magnifique. Mwah! We'll talk about that in a little bit. With that said, no further ado. Well, you know what? Let me do this. We got two special things happening today or this week with PNTS Network. First and foremost, you know how we do. Let me show you something. Let's see, make sure if it did it right. Nope, it didn't do it right. Forbidden? What is forbidden? Maybe it's forbidden for me to show you what the hell's going on here. What the hell is even? What the hell is even this? All right, let me fix up real quick. We're gonna fix that. The wonders of technology.
No, that's right. I could tell you a story yesterday as I went to go stream the amazing Black Flag, man. And we'll be talking about that at some point during the show, so I won't give my thoughts on it. But man, I didn't have audio, and then people could hear me, I couldn't hear them, so I had to unlist that first stream. Went back, tweeted it out again, thinking everything was good. Turned on my variable refresh rate and everything on the TV. Sound went audio went out again, and I had to unlist it again because the same problem occurred.
I see what I did, y'all.
Something's gonna happen, man, when you're live.
Exactly. All right, so we can't show y'all that right now. What it is please join the PNTS Network Division 2 clan, the Old Dirty Blasters. The link is above. I wanted to show that to y'all, but that didn't work out because I was doing it directly from the site, and the site is down right now because we're changing the main servers. All right, so there goes that little piece right there. Hey, LaVon in the house. LaVon Casey, what's going on?
Shout out.
Now let's do this. Also, now this Sunday, really next week, we're having a giveaway extravaganza. That is courtesy of our good friend Jack Deslip, co-host of the Numbers Show for Stadia. We're coming back with episode 5 this upcoming Sunday. And during that show, there are going to be not 1, not 2, not 3, but 10. There's going to be 10 lucky winners of Google Play credit that you can use to buy, to go towards purchases of anything Google related, including Stadia games and stuff like that. There's going to be 10 winners that we're going to be giving away $30 gift certificate cards to. All right. So you don't want to miss your opportunity to be one of those, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 10 winners of those of that credit. Join us live, the Numbers Show for Stadia, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. BST, 1 p.m. Pacific on this channel for that giveaway extravaganza. All right, enough with me. Let's talk to the panel. Storm,
what up?
What have you been playing since last show?
I'll tell you this right here. Now, I got to answer LaVon real quick, though. He said he was talking to you in relation to the Stadia console comparisons, man. I tell you what, LaVon, if MM2K don't get around to it, I definitely have fun doing those types of things. So look forward to it. I was going to do one yesterday. But, so MM, what have I been playing, you said?
Hey, Storm, before you go any further. That was some strong water. Before you go any further, for LaVon, drop a link to your channel in the chat. But LaVon, Project Storm's
LaVon's
channel.
already subbed. No, he's already subbed.
Oh, he subbed? Oh, okay.
I'm him too.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
man.
All right,
yes,
cool. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
All right. No, that's no problem at all. So first of all, let me shout out the people, though. We got Charles Arden in the building.
Yeah.
The real LaVon Casey, y'all. You know what I mean? The real one. Because there's some imposters out there.
Facts.
Cecil Runner is in the house. Windstar, a.k.a. Kenry V. The Nightbot holding us down. Ron Slusher. What up, Ron Slusher?
Watch out for that van.
Hey, man. Ron, you know what? Ron is like Batman. He's in the cave at the times when the van comes. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But, hey, we got WJR in the building talking about that NPD. That NPD, that national, what is it? Something diary, national price.
National Pasta Day.
Hey, I know it's something. I know it's National Purchasing Diary. That's what it is. National Purchasing Diary. See, I know about the NPD. But Inlet is in the building, y'all. Collins Dynasty is here as well. The boy Project Storm. Dave D was first in the building. He gets the early bird special award today. So I can tell you right now, I've been playing. First, I'm gonna hop over to PC. I tried the Deathloop out yesterday. Shout out
Oh,
to
okay.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the developers of Deathloop. I didn't get the
Arcane.
performance I was looking for. See, it's not just a
Oh,
Stadia thing when it comes to performance. I'm a performance freak, but
yeah.
Deathloop, it looked good. It was clean. It felt good, but it was just something about it. I experienced a little bit of latency or whatever, and the performance was weird. I had VSync on, and I was still getting like 80 something frames per second. And I don't know, man. When I was playing it, and I noticed a little bit of stutters and stuff that I shouldn't have been experiencing, and I realized that if you go to Steam, you can see that some people are having the same type of issues or different issues, but there was definitely some issues there. So I'm assuming the first set of patches are gonna take care of that, hopefully. But
Yep.
it was a good experience, man. That's a dope ass game, bro. It is a game that I think PS5 players are gonna be happy for, PC players, man. And it makes me think about MM and Peter, man. I would like to have something like that here that I
Yeah.
just don't have to worry about downloading. I can't lie to
Right.
you. It made me think about how cool it would be to get our hands on a game like that. It doesn't have to be necessarily to have to be Deathloop, but somebody out there, developers, if you're listening, come on, give us a
Yep.
spinoff, but take a new direction. I love it. Um, and I also played some Assassin's Creed Black Flag yesterday, man. I heard people talking about the performance, and I was like, okay, let me get my filthy paws on the controller. Got my filthy paws on the controller. I said, okay, it's a 2013 game. I said, okay. And I kept on playing. I
Mhm.
said, okay, MM2K and Peter, man. And I destroyed all these
Yes,
ships in the
sir.
beginning and everything, without getting spoilers out and stuff. And then I saw the beautiful blue sky. And then things just got better from there. And I was looking at all the performance and I forgot I was playing on Stadia as a dope port. It
Wow.
gets the September King of Port definitely gets the King of Ports award right now, unless you could tell me something about that Darksiders later on. But that's just my story. I'm giving y'all two games, even though I played more. I'm giving you two games today
Okay.
because I got to
Okay.
pass that mic to Peter. God damn
Peter. Hey, Pete. Now, Pete, let me ask you a question. Before you get the games that you played, let me ask you, have you played both Darksiders and AC Black Flag on Stadia?
I have indeed. Yes, I have played both of them
Ooh.
on Stadia.
Okay, you'll be the tiebreaker. But go ahead, brother. What you been playing this week?
All right, so mainly do have my PC, so I got re-addicted to Warframe, and
Okay.
having a proper setup that can run that game at over 60 FPS is like beautiful, like totally new game. I'm like blown away. Plus they enhance their engine and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I've also been Black Flag once again, favorite Assassin's Creed game like ever, hands down. Better than the original trilogy in my opinion. Played it on Stadia, and all I'm going to say for right now, for anyone who hasn't played it, the performance is incredible. I love it. It plays at 4K and 60 frames a second and looks absolutely stunning. So
Mm.
those have been my two main games so far.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Hey, speaking of Warframe though, because we're starting to do new segments here on the channel, and I got one called Feedback when I do like the open mics. I would say that one of my top five games that I want to see on this platform that I think would do it a lot of good is Warframe. I would love to see Warframe on Stadia. I think that would pull a lot of people in to play Stadia as well. I mean, not as much as Fortnite, but that's a game that I can see would fit right into the
Oh, for
community.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Like, even like they're coming out with the mobile port, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the Switch and mobile ports are using their hardware, and the hardware isn't that strong, so it barely runs. And
Yeah.
I talked to people who played on those platforms in my clan, and they're all like, "Yeah, it runs like sub 30 FPS," and I'm like,
Mm,
that's not okay." Yeah, I'm like,
exactly.
if you put it on Stadia, you could do all of that, including the Switch, if you modded your Switch and play at least 60. I can guarantee you that. We know
Yes,
Stadia
sir.
can handle.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, All right, well that's awesome stuff, Pete. Hey, you know what? What I've been playing, y'all. I've actually played a good number of games this week.
Oh,
Due in large part to the fact that I was I fell off the wagon last week. We didn't have a my first look. My deepest apologies. I was so hurt by that Darksiders 2. I didn't even want to play no games. I was balled up in the fetal position, sucking my thumb. Like, I don't want to play anything. That's how bad I was hurt. But I got over it, y'all. I got over myself, and I played some games. The first game that I played was it was Darksiders 3. Oh man, if you remember, you know what I'm talking about. Y'all saw that magical deliciousness that was on the screen. Some great stuff. And shout out, it was a Geek to Sneak. It was either Geek to Sneak or Marcus Knight. Somebody was like, "Oh man, it's stuttering at first," and it was weird. Got this weird stuttering like the first 3 minutes of the game. I was about to say, "Here we go again," and then after you get past those first 3 minutes, it was smooth as cake. Kept dying. And kept going back to the beginning. That game is punishing if you put it on a hard enough level. And I kept going back to the beginning because I wasn't going far enough and I wasn't experiencing that stutter again. So I guess it was just something specific to the first time that you boot that game up. But I played that. I played Madden 22 over the free weekend. I still got to buy it because I can't go back to 21 now. So definitely I'm going to be buying Madden 22. And then I played that free demo. What's the name of that damn game, y'all? Oh, I can't believe it.
From space.
Oh my! I don't even want to talk about it. I can't talk about it right now because we'll be doing the show right now instead of doing everything in decency and order.
That's what Squids was talking about, man. I'm thinking he's talking about came from space.
Nature break? No.
Yeah.
No, not that, bro. Not that. It's a free demo. That's out there that anybody can play once they activate their Stadia account or their Gmail account.
Free multiplayer demo. Yep. You can invite your friends. What else could you ask for? Instant demo, multiplayer, play with your friends right away. Nothing stopping you.
You can't beat, bro.
I'm back at work, so I don't catch the news like you guys do now, man. I used to be at home waiting in the summertime for any news to drop. Now I'm at work. I depend on you all to drop the news on social media. If I don't hear it directly from you all, I don't know. I don't search.
Well, you know a good place to go, Storm. It's a perfect segue. Shameless plug. A good place to go, Storm, is if you want the latest and greatest news. Even with the PNTS Network site still under construction, you can go to the Stadia Dosage group out on Facebook. We got a Facebook group now. Go to Stadia Dosage group. And we have the latest and greatest Stadia news via Stadia Dosage or other Stadia content creators. They've been invited as well to drop their content and keep you up to date with the latest and greatest in gaming news. So come on over. If you haven't been invited already, it's okay. Come on over. Stadia Dosage group on Facebook. Look for it. Sign up and all that good stuff. Even if you don't do Facebook all like that, because I don't do it. I just go there, interact with the groups, and I skedaddle. But come on over. Check us out. All right. Well, that's everything that we've been playing this week. I think now it's time to get into our topics. And our topics are, again, we're going to talk about this Darksiders 3 for a little bit, talk about what it means for the platform, because we kind of were like, what the hell's going on here? With the 60 frames per second, we kind of was like waving that warning flag, that red flag there. We're going to talk about Stadia versus NPD. And that litmus test there, a lot of people got to understand what's going on there. And then this week on Stadia. So first and foremost, let's talk about it, folks. Topic one is Darksiders 3. So with Darksiders 3, and now I think we got the web parts hooked up. So let's do this. Darksiders 3 is available now on Google. This is courtesy of our good friends over at Stadia Hunters. They give you the prices. Now, the prices might be off just for the USD version just a little bit because it's $29.99 if you're a Stadia Pro member. But this game is out here now, and all 64 achievements have been listed via Stadia Hunters. I will say this, and Pete already said that he's got it, so I want to get Pete's thoughts on this. But first and foremost, Pete, what's your thoughts on the port overall?
So I like Darksiders 3 I like Darksiders 3. I like Darksiders 2. I even have Darksiders Genesis. But even with it not being 60 frames a second and it barely feels like sub 30 FPS at some points. I'm not sure why.
Mm-hmm.
Darksiders 2 is great, but it's a horrible port, as if like minimal effort, we're just going to get the game on the platform
Mm-hmm.
and then that's it. And that kind of sucks because I'm actually a semi big Darksiders fan. And even with Genesis, I think being 30 frames a second, it looks like Darksiders 2 cuts down at random times, and it's frustrating to play. I still love the game. I like being able to play as Death. He's one of my favorite horsemen, but that performance is extremely frustrating when you know that Stadia's hardware can handle far better.
Mm-hmm. Now, 2 kind of, had me in my feels as well. But seeing 3, now 3 has a performance mode. So what were your thoughts on 3's performance mode?
Performance mode looks great. I mean, yeah, it's not 4K and it doesn't look as pretty, but when I'm
Mm-hmm.
gaming, the only thing I actually care about is responsiveness and how smooth the game is. I don't care if the game runs at 30 as long as everything seems smooth. I'm not really having any hitches, any disruptions, any pixelation drops, anything like that. Once I start seeing those, or I start seeing all of the frames slow down, that's when I start getting irritated and I lose interest in the game. So as long as the game plays smooth, especially with that performance mode like it does, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine if the quality is not as good as it looks. I was like, the game plays so smooth. In reality, you're not going to really be paying attention to how it looks.
Now, when I played it, we're going to turn it over to Storm. The reason why we didn't turn it over to Storm yet is because Storm hasn't played it yet. Storm is on the side of, you know what, I don't appreciate. Well, I'm going to let Storm speak for Storm, but I'm going to say this. When I played it, at first, it was a little blotchy in the performance mode. But let me back up and say this. Shout out to, I think it's THQ and the developers, whoever made this game. We must have made such a big stink the last few weeks, Storm, about 60 frames per second. When you boot up the damn game, the game starts in high frame rate mode. That's the first game that I've ever played where it started in high frame rate mode. So I'm like, okay, I can dig this. So I'm playing the game, and I'm going to the first area, and I'm like, it looks decent. I was like, this looks okay. But then it was stuttering for the first 3 minutes. And then I was concerned. People was watching. It's like, oh man, that stutter's kind of bad. I was like, oh, here we go. Then when I got past the first 3 minutes, it was smooth sailing. And like in like 5 minutes, I ran into my first boss, and I still can't beat her. She's whooping my ass. But it was smooth sailing. It felt pretty much like a flat 60 frames per second. And I'm going to tell you, that performance mode, that can't be 1080. I'm curious on what the bro, Original Penguin, what he counts in his pixel counting. But that can't be like 1080 across the board. That's gotta be
like 1400 minimum.
Yeah, that gotta be anywhere between 12 or 1440. Like, and I'm telling you, that's the ultimate way to play that game. I don't know about you, Peter, but I played the 4K 30 or the quality mode. Womp, womp, womp. Like, no,
yeah,
bro.
it's not fun. It looks pretty, but it doesn't feel right at all.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. And hopefully they'll work on it. And then you know what? It reminds me of what I was getting with Darksiders 2, in the 4K mode. And I said, these mugs got a issue probably with doing 4K on Stadia and having them frame rates up. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like it looks like rather they found the perfect balance with the 1440p or whatever that is and the 60 frames per second. So shout out to Dev the Gamer. He called it out. He said, nah, bro, that's Gunfire Games. So whatever you did, Gunfire Games, in that performance mode, keep it up. Now we're going to go to our brother Storm. Now, Storm.
What up?
A lot of people said that they like this port. It looks good. It's great. But you ain't touching it. You said, hell no, you won't go. Can you explain for the people why that's your current position?
It's a simple breakdown. Shout out to Project Storm. You know what I mean? I got to shout myself out after this one right here. Because see, here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing, man. Outriders 2, you probably won't see me purchasing that day one. 2K22, if it does land, I ain't purchasing it. I'm not touching it, right?
Yeah.
Serious Sam 5, I can't see myself touching it day one if it ever comes out. I can't do it. There's certain things I just can't do. The new Assassin's Creed game, after seeing now, see, here's where I have a dilemma, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black Flag is the reason why it's kind of hard for me to jump out there. All right, let me rewind. Darksiders 2 came out, and I was like, I didn't have a good taste in my mouth, man. So even though I see the fanfare and the celebration about Darksiders 3, I'm hesitant, man. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hesitant because you know why, man? I'll jump in there. Remember, if I had seen those little hiccups, if I had seen those in the first 3 minutes, you already
Mm-hmm.
know it would have been I would have been like sitting back in my chair looking like Ti with the nodding his head with his upside down face, you know, the
Oh
joint, the gif you already
no.
used. I'd be
Uh-huh.
like, okay, this is what you want to do again. Say, I would have been like that, just like I was with Life is Strange, man. I'm real picky about that. I don't. I'm not saying to be like me. I'm saying you have to be that judgmental. I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be that judgmental. But for me though, I can't deal with the fake outs, man. So yo, I'm excited. Get excited. I'm anxious and everything. I'm like, wait a minute. Don't let me down. Dirt 5. You want to see me on Dirt 6. Not if it
Mm-hmm.
comes to Stadia, not day one. It's certain games that has rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't like that. I don't like that, man. I like, just treat me with respect. Give me 60 FPS. Like Control. I have to keep pointing this out because Control is a game that should not be giving me 60 FPS, in my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
it is a smooth 60, man. And Control looks so damn good at the latter stages of that game. It looked even better. It looks way better at the part of the moon right now than what I've ever seen in the first 5, 6 hours of gameplay, right? So
Okay.
I'm gonna continue to be picky MM2K. I'm gonna look at other people's content. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see what the fuss is about for another week or so. Then I'll decide whether I'm gonna pay that 30, not 20,
Mm-hmm.
not 14.99. When I'm gonna pay that $30 for the game. That's all to it, man.
Now I'm
That's
gonna
all.
turn the heat up a little bit. I'm gonna start
Turn
with
it
Peter.
up.
I'm gonna turn it up. I'm a crush spirits today. What if I told you, bro, that the port that this Darksiders port is better than Control's port? Not the game, the port, the quality of the port. I'm gonna start with Peter first. Hey Pete, what'd you think about that? Am I off my rocker? If I had too much old
No,
Milwaukee?
okay. No, okay, let me tell you a story about that very, very specific situation. All right.
Okay.
So I love Control. Control is one of my favorite games of all time. It's the trippiest
Yes.
game I've ever played. I
Yeah.
played it through on PC. Awesome game. Said it was coming to Stadia. I was like, hell yes. I was like, now I can play it anywhere. I'm so damn disappointed in that game, bro. Like,
Ooh.
I couldn't get through the beginning at all, whether it was in performance mode or
Mm-hmm.
quality mode.
Okay.
It was rough. It
Okay.
was really rough. It felt like the latency was actually there, which was unusual because on Stadia I generally
Don't
can't
have that.
feel anything unless like I'm clearly like
Yeah.
my connection's clearly suffering.
Right.
So it's like that just pissed me off. So honestly, I refunded Control,
Oh
Mm-hmm.
but
yeah.
the Darksiders 3, I, I'm gonna go with MM2K. Like the
Woo!
performance is Control's like a 2 and Darksiders
Ooh.
3 would it's not a
Oh
10, but
man.
I would say 8. I'm gonna be fair and say 8. 8 out of
Okay.
Hey,
10 and
hey,
Dark
Hey,
and
Moss.
Storm. Go ahead, Storm.
Hey,
Storm like
Moss.
I have it. Go ahead, bro.
Boss, can you find that GIF, man, or GIF? I said GIF. I gotta call it a GIF today,
Yeah.
goddamn. Can you my chief at some point during the show? Can you please find that, man?
The one with
Because
Ti.
I'm sitting back, I'm listening to my good brother Peter Cottontail, who I respect, who I like all his tweets and everything. I can get down with everything the bro be saying, man.
uh-huh.
But control, you know what? Control is not perfect. It's not though, man. It's
Uh-huh.
not this that what Peter said wasn't fighting words. It's not. It's King of Ports, and I gave my reasons why because that's a
uh-huh.
game I just said it earlier. I didn't anticipate that game being able to run at 60 over the cloud, being streamed and everything. Now Peter said that he had added latency for on his end, but for me, this is why I'm so happy. I'm fortunate and I'm happy that I could play
Yep.
on a desktop. You don't need a desktop PC like I had to play Stadia and enjoy it at a high level. You don't. But if you do have that, oh my gosh, man, 30 frames per second games feel better. They don't smooth out. They don't look like 60, but they feel like 60. But boy, oh boy, do 60 FPS games in performance mode feel like 120. Oh my gosh. I got my
Yeah.
weapon upgraded on control. It's amazing. It's crazy. I got into the Black Quarry.
Yep.
Yo,
That's one of my
what I
favorite
said,
zones.
what am I playing right now? Is it the same Stadia version? I saw some shadowing issues and stuff like that. So there's issues with the game. There's some in well lit areas sometimes the lighting can look a little bit off and stuff. There's aliasing that I highlighted in one of my videos where I compared it directly to the PC with the RTX 3080 at ultra settings and all that, right? Ray tracing, I turned everything on. But boy, oh boy, does control it just doesn't let me down, man. It gets the KOP status because it did not let me down. That's the thing. So I'm happy with it. $40 was the price I paid for the ultimate edition, and I think that's another part of why I like the game so much, man. But I just don't. 8 sounds good to me, and 8 sounds good to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and get that thing at a 9.3. I gotta give it a 9.3,
Okay.
man, because I don't get that latency. See,
Yeah.
it just feels right. I'm aiming the guns, I'm doing everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not perfect, but 9.3 because it shouldn't be
Okay.
running like that on Stadia.
Can I be honest for like 10 seconds, real
Go ahead,
Yes,
quick?
Phil.
sir. Yes, sir.
You need to pull the trigger on Dark Souls 3 performance mode, and I guarantee you that 9.3 I won't be so harsh. I'll give it a 7.6. I will give it
Wait
a
a minute. Wait a
7.6
minute.
if you try out Darksiders 3.
Uh, well, let me say this right here. Let me ask you something, Peter. Hey, Peter, what did you try Darksiders 2?
Yeah, I have both.
Was it 60 FPS?
No, hell, no. Nope. That's like
Oh,
sub 30. Nope.
okay.
Not worth it. Nope.
In the
Mm.
4K mode, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Let me ask you something else, Peter. In 4K mode, am I getting 30 FPS? Is it smooth 30
Nope.
PlayStation 30?
It's 4K 60.
Wait a minute, 4K 60? I'm talking about how many, you know what I'm
Black
talking
Flag.
about. In 4K mode on Darksiders 3, how is that
Oh,
performing?
Darksiders 3. Oh, sorry, wrong game. So 4K mode in Darksiders 3 is like 30, maybe 35
Maybe 30.
FPS.
So
I see what
that's
he's
a
trying to
negative.
do.
You see, that's a negative. I'm gonna tell you why I asked it. I know some people are thinking, well, control isn't either. It's 30 or below or whatever at 4K. But let me
Yep.
tell you this right here. See, control didn't fake me out though. See, that's the thing. Y'all got
They
to
had no
understand when it comes to
chance.
me. I didn't get faked out by control, man. So I had my trust level is higher. It's through the roof for control because it's never been on the platform before, and it came with a 1080p 60 mode.
That's
I
true.
tell you, I
Okay.
just can't do it. I'm sorry. I know it's I can't do it
Yeah.
right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying never, but not right now.
Now we got
Oh,
we,
when
we
you
got a
do.
poll up here right now. I want to let everybody know the poll. We got a poll up here now because now we done started something. We asked you, what Stadia port do you think is better,
All right,
Darksiders 3 or Control? And it's
I've
only
already
4
voted.
people. Oh, you already voted?
I voted.
Okay, your vote
Oh,
must
I
not have
need to
came through
find
yet
that.
because Darksiders 3 with 4 votes. Oh, okay, now it's changed. Okay, now
All
it's
right.
changed. So with a total of 6 votes, Darksiders 3 has 67% of the vote. Control has 33. Hey, bro, I'm trying to tell
It's
you.
not over yet. Get that poll. Let's go. Get those votes up.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
No.
Get those votes in, people. You got the whole show. You know,
But I
get
get
those
where you
votes
coming
in.
from. I get, but Peter, let me ask you: do you? I mean, what do you think about what Storm is saying? That because first impressions mean everything to a lot of people, right? So they
Right.
dropped it. They dropped it out there. It's an older game. We were talking about this before the show, right, fellas? Like, what's up with the what ports are we getting here? Like, I thought they were PC ports. Like, did we get a console port this time instead? I mean,
Right.
what
Right.
what?
It doesn't always seem like it's a PC
Yeah,
port.
That's
okay.
right.
But what are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think that Storm should be leery of this game because of Darksiders 2, or do you consider Darksiders 2 like a completely different situation and you think you
I
need to pick this game up?
No, Darksiders 2 is in a completely different situation. Like that's flat out disappointing. Like
Mm-hmm.
all around, especially because you get to play as Death the Horseman, and he's all time favorite horseman. Like through the
Yeah.
stories, the games,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And Darksiders 3 compared to 2, totally different world. I'm telling you, I need to say that you will not be disappointed, even if the 4K mode runs at about 35 FPS. You still won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd say go for it, man.
I think it's a great. He will eventually, but I get where he's coming from though, because it was so disappointing to see that happen with Darksiders 2. And if you think about it, y'all, we could have had Darksiders 2 and Darksiders 3 performing like Darksiders 3. Exactly. Like that would have been a bang bang tandem out of the world. So I get it. I pulled the trigger on it because I just was interested to see. I was doubtful if I was even going to keep it. And I'm glad I pulled the trigger on it. And 30, yes, for a game.
I'm waiting for Pro.
You waiting for Pro? Oh man, hey yo, the poll's still going now. It did tighten up. We got 12 votes, 50. Hey, come on, y'all. We got 32 people watching, and we only got 12 votes. Come on, this is anonymous. Storm ain't gonna come and get you in the parking lot. Come on, let them know that Darksiders 3 is a better port. No, go ahead.
Let me ask you something. Do we have something? Do we have this on the docket because the Ubisoft? We got the Black Flag on the docket.
We're gonna talk about Black Flag.
Fake out. All right, cool. I just want to because I want to. I have a little bit of thoughts going on now.
We gotta talk about that.
I do want to throw this out there that remember all the Assassin's Creed games that came before Black Flag, and yet I still get Black Flag that pass. You know why? This is an exceptional port though, y'all. Black Flag is the example of what can change my mind. Project Storm. Okay. Do not be like me. I always say it. Don't be like me, man. You don't want to be like me. You want to be like you, the best you could be, right? I'm saying to y'all right now, Black Flag impressed me so much with the 4K 60 mode. How many games do we have that's running 4K 60 in 4K mode? I don't even remember, bro. But I do know the Black Flag gets the, oh my God, I might give it the damn port of all. Hey, look. All I'm saying is that right there is how you turn things around. We've been hounding on them about 30 FPS as well. Ubisoft, man, what's up with all these 30 FPS games? Now, MM, I don't know if that's on the docket. Is that on the docket?
Well, no, but we could talk about the quality of games when we get to like what's going on this week, because I am concerned about what was the game that came there's something in the space or whatever that I keep forgetting his name.
Well, it's from space. From space. I just saw it.
I don't want to say I'm concerned about it, but there's something bewildering about that. So we could talk about all that then.
All right. Go ahead, okay, brother. Cool. So that's it. I mean, that's all I have, man. Sometimes there's an exception in Black Flag right now. That's all.
Pete, any thoughts on that before we move on?
No, I totally see where he's coming from. So I don't really have anything to say about that. I mean, I do get it concerning Control, because Control seems a lot more consistent, I guess you could say, compared to Darksiders 3, and that little hitching at the start. I don't know what it is. I wonder if it has anything to do with how Stadia does their pipelines or whatever, how it makes it not choppy or anything.
There you go.
That's a great
point.
I
wonder if there's just something there that causes it to mess up like that, because that's exactly what it looks like, even in the examples that they showed. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I could see where you're coming from, though, Storm.
Hey,
honestly,
Peter Contel, man. Hey, MM2K, man. Let me sit up in my damn chair. I don't know how this happened. I don't know what you guys did behind the scenes. I had no idea that we were about to have Peter Cottontail on, but I tell you what, man, this right here just made my damn day. I had a rough day at work like you did.
Hey, you read my mind. You read my mind.
Peter Cottontail just brought up the pipeline talk that we had. The pipeline thing that even Stadia highlighted and brought it to our attention. These pipelines and stuff and the memory issues and all the things that we heard about, but we kind of was like, I don't know. We're not saying that Stadia is a bad. We all three of us, we love this platform. You're now in tune to three lovers of the Stadia platform that ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So yeah, I mean, forget about that if that's what you're thinking. But the pipeline thing, the way everything works, man, the fact that they put out an article that to me suggested that they don't always give us ultra settings and stuff on these games, right? Because you got to be able to stream these games at a high level, and we know that Stadia streams games at a high level, right? So I can understand certain sacrifices, but man, I don't know. When it comes to, when it comes to these ports that we're talking about, Control and all that stuff, man, I don't know, Dirt 5, like I said, it's one of the most beautiful looking games on this platform that you could play today. And it only has that nagging hiccup, man. And so is it pipeline related? That's what I'm wondering because that, oh man, I got so many KOP contenders for like KOP of all times. Oh my God, man. That's King of Ports.
Now the chat is saying they're getting on you, Storm. They said you can't give King of Ports to everything now.
Hey, listen, man. I give monthly King of Ports KOP for every month now. I realize that y'all see. I'm ahead of the chat. I'm ahead of the chat, man. I realize that I can't be giving no damn every game that drop. I can't give it. I said this too. I cannot give it King of Port that I recognize. So I gave. If you were paying attention to your boy, I gave Black Flag the KOP for September. You know what I mean? King of Ports for September, the whole damn month. Right now, that's where it stands because of what I experienced yesterday. And that's a game from 2013.
Yeah.
Age don't mean is nothing but a number when it comes to these games. You know what I'm saying? It's just the great games are going to be great all the time for always. And that's just how I feel, man. So I do shout out to the chat though. Y'all can say what the hell you want to say. Say whatever you want. But King of Port status is going to be each and every month from now on. We're gonna crown the game. Maybe even 2, y'all. King of Port.
He said, y'all.
Maybe
y'all
even
think,
2.
He said, I would really drive y'all crazy. All right. Well, let's put it like this. Now that you broke it down like that, Storm, I might ease up on you, and because the chat done turned on me. Look, because I'm looking at this poll, Pete. Hey, this poll ain't looking too hot for us.
Hey.
But
I saw that. I'm a little bit
People's my gamers, man.
Hey, yo, it's Shay Capo. Hey, Shay Capo, know where your alliances are at, bro. I will kick you off live on air. Talking about I'm with Storm. Hey, yo, get out of here.
What's up? That's what's up. Shay Capo was in there when I was struggling, man. If it wasn't for him, I would have gave up yesterday. I would have gave up content creation, bro. If it wasn't for Shay Capo.
Now, Shake, I'm gonna be streaming Deathloop. Now I might have to block you when I stream Deathloop, man. Don't forget your alliance is good now. No, I can dig it, but I will say this. I get Storm. Storm brings up a great point though, that when you factor in what happened with THQ's last game, the fact that that you see Assassin's Creed Black Flag do 4K 60, and it's $30, and they're all $30. Like, wasn't Control? How much was Control?
Man,
was
listen,
Control
Black Flag
was like $45 after taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was 40 for me. I'm in a state where there's no taxes. Put it like that, right? So it was a flat $39.99. Now check this out, right? Now check this out. Here's the deal. Who the hell else is doing 4K 60 on this platform? That should be the question of the day. Can somebody in the chat let me know another game that's in 4K mode running at 60 FPS in 4K
That's
mode?
a AAA game.
Destiny 2, wait a minute now. Let me see. Destiny 2, does it hit that? Yeah, it hits that. Destiny 2 in 4K mode, when 4K is selected, it hits that.
Yeah.
Division 2,
Yep.
in 4K mode, it still hits 60.
Man.
Yeah, there's some games, right? Not that many. So this right here is in a a space that's not that crowded, man.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Rainbow, but that's another. But that's Ubisoft. That's out of all the AAA games that's hitting 4K 60, Ubisoft got it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why. I guess we can talk about a little bit here. We can talk about the Black Flag situation here a little bit. We never stay in order. I guess that's why they felt like, we ain't going to put it. I mean, some people are interpreting what happened yesterday with Black Flag as a issue with how they worded it yesterday. Some people look at it as in they were trying to be slick and see if they can get over on one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm closer to the latter. You know me, I'm conspiracy theory Moss. With that being said, maybe it's because they hired those extra people and they got all that experience with the pipeline and all that other stuff as the good homie Peter just referenced. And maybe they said, you know what, whoa, we done put some extra sauce on this, man. We feel like we deserve an extra $6 for this from everybody. Whether you got Ubisoft Plus or not. What do y'all think about that? Who want to grab that first?
Peter?
Honestly, okay, so I didn't see it on Ubisoft Plus originally, and I had canceled my sub anyway, so I was like, whatever. And then I thought the game was supposed to be like 15 normally or whatever,
Yep.
right?
Uh-huh.
So I didn't notice that there was a pro discount, bro. I saw that game for like $6-7. I was like, all right. I was like, I don't care. I'm buying it. I was like, I don't have
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft Plus anymore. I'm probably not gonna get it again anytime soon. So I'm like, whatever. I was like, I'll just get that. So I got that, and the season pass is like an extra like $5, I think. But then there's also the gold edition,
Yeah.
which I didn't notice either, which I should have just got that, but it's whatever. Um, Either way, the game is absolutely fantastic. I was not expecting the port quality at all. And you know what? I feel like Ubisoft is the only one that can really pull this off naturally right now, because they were the first in the jump to support Stadia. Shout out to Ubisoft. Thank you. And as time goes on, their performance seems to only be getting better. I mean, yeah, they have some hiccups here and there. Odyssey playing at 30 is iffy, but definitely still playable. Valhalla is super playable. I played the hell out of that game. As time goes on, the ports get better, and seeing Black Flag, a game from 2013, run at 4K 60 that I was never able to play on when I played it before, it makes me fall in love with the game again.
Mm.
It's that great of a port.
Um. So Storm,
Yep.
what are your thoughts on what happened, bro? You think that they was jipping folks? They
Hey,
wanted to test the waters, or what are your thoughts on it? Because we're going
you
to
know
ask
what?
the chat too.
I'm not mad at them. They fixed the issue first of all, so shout out to them
Mm-hmm.
for fixing that. But perception is 9/10 of the law, as you would always say, right? So it's kind of like, damn, how do you? I just don't understand how you can drop your game on a storefront and it just be like already priced at how much? $6.99? Five?
Uh,
How much was it?
It was like 6, almost 7,
Yeah,
7.
it was
Yeah, I
like,
think
yeah,
almost
something like
7
that.
bucks.
It's between
Right.
$6 to $7, right? Or whatever. So you already have a price for it. You drop that thing. Is it to grab a couple sales? Now I don't have a problem because I've supported this before. Like when all these publishers and devs were signing up to the platform, I'm like, look, the devs gotta eat, man. They gotta, so if they drop a game and it costs $20, $40, whatever, I like the developer. I like their work. I'm gonna support them, right? So I don't. If that's what they were trying to do, it is what it is. But it seemed like immediately after we got done with our hoopla, and shout out to all the people that was in your chat yesterday, Stadia Dosage News, our chat. Let me just say our chat
facts.
because
Yep.
that's what MM would say. So our chat yesterday, chopping it up with us, who actually 100% of that chat yesterday, y'all. Do check that out, MM2K. I can't remember the titles, but you can find it right here on Stadia Doses News. Listen, I was so proud, man. We had 100% of the people said, nah, man, I ain't buying that. I can't do that because I signed up for Ubisoft Plus, blah, blah, blah. So we were ready to collectively come together and say, nah, this ain't it. Hell no,
Yeah.
we won't go.
Yep.
We were ready to
Right.
do that, but it came down to the fact that it was a mistake or whatever, or they fixed that up. And man, so my argument was going to be communication. Like, how come y'all couldn't communicate to us that the game wasn't going to be included in Ubisoft Plus? So I don't think the price was so low that I think it would have been acceptable. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
every little dollar counts when you're in a business. But at the same time, you don't want to rub people the wrong way, because you had us thinking that, hey, there's a possibility that Far Cry 6
Yeah.
could be $60 in the store. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so it's all about perception, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say here. And I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I feel better
Right.
today about it. And shout out to Ubisoft, man, for being that great publisher, that partner that they have always been on this platform. That's how I feel
We got
today.
to we got a new poll up. Well, we lost the last poll. Me and Pete did, but that's all right. We gonna get
Man,
Storm again.
we're gonna get
We gonna
Because the
get
gamers
Storm.
know. The gamers know, man. They know that what I'm talking about is cool. It's like you give me 30 frames per second and shout out to Guilt. Guilt is 60 FPS, right? That's another
Mm-hmm.
one that runs at 60 in 4K mode, if I'm not mistaken. So there's some games, and I see somebody in the chat said PUBG. I don't know if it was Vic or not, but man, So there's some games that runs at 60 FPS and all that stuff. But see, people are realizing that, you know, you got to make sure when you're talking quality, I think if you're a publisher or a developer, you want to always be focused on quality. And if
Yep.
you're Stadia, you want to always have a team of individuals. You can hire me. I don't have no experience. Hire me. I swear I tell you if everything's the quality on these games or at the highest standard they could be, hire me. I'll do it. I'll do it for a little fee. But listen to this, y'all. It's all about quality, y'all. That's what gamers want, man. We pay our hard-earned money for these games, man. Some of us, you know, barely make it from week to week, check to check or whatever. You know what I mean? But we come out here and we pinch our pennies and we get these damn games, man. We get these games. No matter how much money you make, you're getting these games. You know, we could be doing something that's 60. We can invest it or that 120, that 300, that $1,000 like I spend every year on games over $1,000 guaranteed in gaming. So I don't have time for you to say to me, well, we'll get you in the next one. You know what I mean? We got you, Storm. We're gonna give you 30 on Darksiders. We're not even gonna patch that up. Now they could patch it up, and if they do, I'll bravo to them. I'll give them all the kudos.
Yeah.
But don't please give me a 1080p 60 mode in your game because your game, I want to play it. I want to tell everybody to play it, but I can't recommend it if it's 30 FPS. But I can't get down with it. Why would I recommend it to the next person? I don't know, man. That's just my crazy way of thinking.
So shout out to everybody that's in the chat. And the chat is bumping today. You can also send a super chat for us to read instantaneously live via the super chat button below. We got a comment here that I'm going to highlight though, regardless. But I also want to remind people that we have a new poll out. We asked, do you think Ubisoft intended to jip Ubisoft Plus subs with Black Flag, or it just was miscommunication? So let us know. We got right now with 16 votes, 75% say no. They don't think Ubisoft intended to jip the subscribers. 25% say yes, they believe it. So we'll soon see. So with that said, just keep it rolling. Thank you very much. But I wanted to point this out by the homie Ron Slusher, which I think is so spot on. He says, we don't want Ubisoft charging extra for 4K 60. Pete, what do you think about that? Do you think that that may have been what they were trying to do? Like they put all this extra loving on Black Flag, so they said, "Shit, give us $6, give us $6 off this." What do you think, bro?
Hey Pete, before you go, Pete, before you go, man, I got to shout out the sister, the first lady of PNTS Network. That's No Bunny Gaming in the building, y'all. What's going on, Bunny? Hey, but go ahead, Pete. My fault, man.
All good, all good. Okay, so honestly, even if that was Ubisoft's plan, which I don't think so, because I can't see any evidence or reason why they would do that. And even if they did, $7, bro, which is less than what I pay for Pro anyway, for 4K 60 and a $5 season pass, I don't care if that's what Ubisoft was trying to do. That's easy money for the quality of that port that like absolutely blows me away. Like I'm itching to play it right now, which I will later. But that is still a good deal no matter which way you look at it. And like I said, either way, I don't think Ubisoft actually meant it. Then again, you don't really know what companies are up to. But in my eyes, they didn't really mean it. So, and the poll right now is saying that 64 people said no, 36% said yes, but we have 2 votes. So
that's right.
The chat seems to agree that Ubisoft didn't do it on purpose. So I'm cool.
For now.
He said for now.
I hit that YES. I hit the YES because I told y'all why. I'll say it again if you let me, MM2K. Is it my turn, man?
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Quick, y'all. Real quick. So again, we got a price tag, man. $6.99 or whatever it was, right? Man, that's got to be pre-established already. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. Like, look, hey, let's just do this right now. It'll be fun, right? Let's just get a couple extra dollars. Again, I don't have a problem if that's what they wanted to do. But it's just something, there's something janky, as Bunny would say, man. Something janky about it. Because if you already had a price tag set up, and that tag is not, you know, $60. Now that would be a mistake if they dropped that thing for $59.99, and that was the price that Far Cry 6 and all that is supposed to be, coming to the platform. This is just my way of thinking. So for all those people that hit that yes, I can understand what you're thinking, man. It feels good to have somebody that thinks like you. I appreciate y'all, yes people.
Now let me do this though. Let me do this. This might flip everything on its head unless they made a change. So you know what? I'm being a horrible host. Let me do this for Pete and for Storm. Storm normally gets on me this, but we went at it so hard at the beginning. He probably forgot to get on my case about this, but there we go. Now I'm sharing the screen with them. So this is this week on Stadia's blog, right? And here it says that Black Flag is here. Buy it in the Stadia store starting 10 p.m. for $29.99 USD.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
I'm wondering, that's why I said that was this a last minute hucklebuck? You know I'm making up stuff. Was this a last minute hucklebuck where they was like, yo, you know what, now that we think about it, man? Like, you know how me and Storm do when we playing something and we like, woo wee, this is good.
Right.
They probably Pete was playing the game and was like, what? We put our foot into this one. Yeah. And we got a lot of those Stadia people on that Ubisoft Plus now. Man, they're rabid. No, we need a little bit extra cash flow for this one. We did they were licking their fingers. We did too damn good with this one. Let's hold it off of Ubisoft Plus and let's see if we could charge them $6. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Those are my thoughts, because why would you have that here unless there was miscommunication everywhere? What are you guys? What are your thoughts on that first, Pete and Storm, in light of this information before we move on?
All right, so I did see that $29.99 price tag, and I was all ready to buy it regardless. Because again, Black Flag is a fantastic game. I'm gonna buy it. I got on the store and I saw that pro price. I was like, not a doubt in my mind, I'm gonna buy it right away, and I sure did. And then I started looking at all the add-ons because I remember it had DLC.
Right.
I was like, yes. I was like, let's buy the season pass too. So even if it seems to have been miscommunication across both parties between Stadia and Ubisoft, that's fine because the game was still a great price, and that does make me wonder if they did have some kind of deal where they might have gotten a little bit of extra revenue if they put the game on a really big price sale. And it looks like they slashed the price in half anyway from its original price, and it was supposed to be 30, but the original price was 15. Then they take the pro discount off, which made it like $6 or $7, which is excellent. So that's my thoughts on it.
What do you think, Storm, before we move
on? I didn't even think about it until now, like the other prices, because I'm a subscriber. You know what I mean? Ubisoft Plus is just it's a good value, man. So for anybody that jumped in before they just increased the price, and I think it's still worth it at the price increase. That's just my opinion because of all the hours that I can get out of Assassin's Creed alone, y'all. Not to mention the fact that I could play Immortals, Phoenix Rising, and all that other stuff. So shout out to Ubisoft again. We don't bash Ubisoft. They put that work in. You know what I mean? They're showing love to the platform. We will never bash Ubisoft. But here's the thing. It just makes you think, bro. Like, now you're seeing $29.99. Of course, people that don't have pro will have to pay something for the game. So I'm just thinking $6.99 could have been like a deal for pro. Is that what it came as a pro price? $6.99 for pro, right?
That's a good question. See,
it was
Go ahead, Pete.
Well, with pro, honestly, I could actually check it out right now.
Yeah, me either, man. I can't tell either.
I can go to my purchase history right now and tell you how much I paid for it.
Yeah, somebody in the chat might be able to help us too, but either you're $5.99 or $6.99.
I think I want to say it was close to like $6.99. It had to have been.
Yeah, I think it was $6.99 with pro, but I wonder without pro how much it was. It was probably the $29.99 without pro.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, correction, I was wrong. So apparently I paid $9.76 for
or
the game.
$8.99. Shout out to El Boogie.
Yes.
El Boogie in the chat said it's $8.99.
Oh, $8.99.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, so with the tax and stuff, yeah, 976, and then I ended up paying 651 for the season pass, which probably would have been a little bit cheaper if I realized that the gold edition is on the store as well,
Gotcha.
which
Okay.
comes with all of that.
So, all right. Well, now we'll never know. But my concern
Right.
is, I'm just hopeful because, well, it makes me, it rises my spirits because, and this will be the last question that I ask. It rises my spirits because a concern of mine is Ubisoft really going to put the effort into making? I'm not so much Riders Republic. I'm very confident. I'm confident that Riders Republic is going to be 4K 60. But I had some doubts about Far Cry 6. But after seeing Assassin's Creed Black Flag and seeing the extra sauce that they put into that, I just got a feeling that Far Cry 6 is going to be 4K 60, or maybe even, or it's going to at least have a 60 frames per second mode. With that
I
said,
think it's gonna do like Darksiders 3 and
you think it's
have
going to be a
like
Darksiders 3?
14.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's gonna be like a 14. I think it'll be 1400 to like minimum, maybe 1440p, but it's
Mm,
also gonna be playing at 60 FPS because I've been seeing some gameplay previews that they let the news holders and stuff stream, and the game looks pretty good and it looks like it's at 60 FPS. So I'm pretty sure it'll be the same on Stadia at a minimum of like 1440.
1440p. Okay. So with that being a likelihood or a possibility, however you want to chalk it up, do y'all think that they're going to try this again with that? Do y'all think that they might? There's a possibility that Far Cry 6 might not land in Ubisoft Plus. What do y'all think about that?
Nah, because it'll be the same type of turnout plus more because some people are going to sign up for Ubisoft Plus to
Because of
jump
this.
on that game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Riders Republic, Far Cry 6, Avatar in 2022 and all that stuff. People are going to sign up for those games, man. I
Yeah.
don't know how many people, but people are going to sign up for those games.
Yep.
Probably some in the chat right now.
Yep. I got you.
Well, I think Ubisoft, I'm like 80% sure Ubisoft did confirm that Far Cry 6 was going to be on Ubisoft Plus a while back anyway. I'd have to find it,
Okay.
but I'm pretty positive Ubisoft did confirm that it was coming to the subscription service as well.
Cool. Well, but you know what? This makes me feel good, man. We'll see ultimately what happens, but definitely seeing Black Flag at that 4K 60, man. I was like that. That just made me more comfortable. I mean, because I know games like Riders Republic and Defiant, when that comes out, we know that's going to have a sauce on it. It's particularly Defiant because it's in that Snowdrop engine. Mwah! But seeing Far Cry 5 at 4K 30, I was concerned about the state of the game, state of Far Cry 6 coming to the platform. But that makes me feel comfortable. All right. With that said, let's move it on. Let's talk about, my friends, let's talk about the next topic. Stadia versus NPD. And if I can do this, hold on, give me a second here. Let me get it up on the screen. You know how we do. Let me show you something. Can everybody see that? That's a tweet from me here. Let's make it bigger. Tweet from me yesterday where I talk about Stadia's performance on NPD. Now, let me be 100% clear. NPD didn't give us results on Stadia. What I'm matching is the catalog that Stadia has versus the top ranking games on NPD. Now, some of you might be saying, MM2K, what in Sam hell is NPD? Okay, so here's what NPD is. NPD is a group of analysts that measure different things, and they have a subject matter expert in the name of Matt Piscatella who focuses on gaming consumption and gaming purchases in North America. For those that don't live under a rock, you should know that North America is the largest gaming sector when it comes to platform gaming and certain like consoles and stuff like that. So when you have a particular platform that curates its own games and is a closed-in platform and stuff like that, making moves, they're basing it off of what NPD first and foremost is showing is successful, and a lot of them move from there. So Matt Piscatella is a man with a lot of statistical power in his hands as far as it comes to gaming and the likes. So what they do is every month they look at the major platforms. Well, first they look at the performance of all the games provided by the major platforms and what games are doing what. What games are ranking in the top 20 each month. Then they go to each individual platform and they say, okay, here are the best games on the individual platforms. They also tell you which peripherals are the best. They tell you, as far as purchases on those platforms combined, if they're in an upward trend or downward trend, either month to month or year over year. So it's a lot of statistical stuff in the same vein that you get with us here on the Number Show for Stadia. So I wanted to put that out there as a precursor and explain to you what I have here in this tweet. So the first part of the tweet, I say Stadia's performance on NPD. 50, and there's asterisks next to these first two, and I'll explain the asterisks in a second. 50% of the top NPD multiplats for August are also on Stadia. 50% of the top year-to-date multiplats, meaning when they ranked which were the most sold or most purchased multiplats across the board for year to date, half of those are on Stadia. 83% of the top NPD multiplats in a rolling calendar year, meaning from August of last year to August of this year, are on Stadia. 100% of the newly charted items in the top 5, which were, those two were Madden 22 and Humankind, released on Stadia day and date. And I say this is great considering no other cloud, except for maybe Shadow, can boast these litmuses. All right. And I also finish up by saying cloud gaming is less than a 1% business. So seeing this much content with this type of performance in the catalog should better capsulize this Stadia strategy. It's more successful than you think. And to explain those asterisks, the 50% for the August games and the 50% for the year-to-date games, if you were to take MLB out, which is only on PlayStation and Xbox platforms, it isn't on PC or Switch, so it doesn't operate like your normal multi-plat in our configuration. But if you take them out, that percentage goes up to 63%. So I'm going to ask, I'll go to Storm first, and then I'll go to Pete. I want to ask you guys, what do you think about that? Because we hear a lot of murmuring in the community about Stadia's doing worse than last year. Oh, when we got shout out to Atlantis in the chat, or he was in the chat, hopefully he's still here. Stadia is tracking more games at this time period than they were last year. And this is the first time that Stadia has ever been able to boast these many litmuses when it comes to NPD. I'll start off with Storm. Storm, what does this say to you about the platform?
Saying that the platform is definitely being recognized by the people that really matter. We matter first, right? Because we're the consumers. Like, they can't do anything without us, right? But these developers, these publishers are bringing these titles, and Stadia is making those moves, So I think we're all on the same playing field here, Like, they're putting the work in, they're going out, making these moves happen. We are dropping our money and enjoying the experience on the platform. The developers are, getting what they need, I guess, with the money and stuff, man. But it's just, it shows that you've been saying it a long time ago. So have I. But you've been highlighting it more so than me, bro. That that the games that people want to play are coming to this platform, man. That's what it's ultimately saying. The games that people want to play coming to Stadia. That's it. Third-party games are the reason why Stadia backed out of first party games. I know that really it pisses people off, man. We know it,
Right.
and we
Right.
were pissed. We were pissed like you at some point when we heard that it was happening because we wanted to see cloud native. But at the same time, life goes on and Stadia does too, right? These
Uh,
games are coming. They are gonna come. We've already been seeing them. There's so many that we can't even name right now. We might run out of time. There's a lot of games on this platform, y'all, that are going to do numbers, that are going to be recognized, and it's just a good thing, man. MM2K, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all that this is happening, and we're going to get more third-party bangers that's going to come to this platform that's going to do well on Stadia as people learn that they can play Stadia. Stadia is for them. You know what I mean? They have it already. So I don't know. It's just a good feeling, man. That's what I think. That's my take on it.
What are your thoughts, Pete? What do you think that this means for the platform, opposed to a lot of the murmuring that you talk against so elegantly on Twitter? What do you think this is versus the murmur on Twitter?
All right, so the murmur on Twitter, man, it's gotta stop, y'all. Y'all gotta stop because I need to know. I need to know if you work at Google or you work with Stadia or you have access to internal documents, meetings, videos, vlogs. I don't care. But if you don't have any of that, you're on the outside looking in, but the windows are blacked out and you still can't see what's going on. Just because they don't have a megaphone over here announcing to the world, hey, we're doing this, hey, we're doing that, shouldn't matter to anybody. Because a few months ago, after the SG&E fallout, which I'm with y'all, I defend Stadia pretty hard, but that did hurt because Google's probably the only one who could have done it the fastest to achieve the world's first cloud native game, and I get that. But clearly these numbers show, and yes, they're actual numbers, not, hey, my source said this, or we're just estimating that the number is around here. No, these are actual charts from actual analysts who actually make a living just studying this stuff and listing it out and watching it. Clearly that Stadia is doing something. Just because they aren't telling you doesn't mean that they aren't doing anything. They're topping charts right now. They're working on their expansion with the possible expansion to India. They just finished a transatlantic cable that can handle more user streaming at 4K video. Now, does that relate to Stadia necessarily? Maybe not, but that does show that Google is holding to their promise of expanding their entire cloud infrastructure for a business scale. And all that's going to do is benefit Stadia and everywhere else around it. And as long as everyone is doing good, Stadia is going to catch nothing but the benefits because as I see it, it's already under Google's umbrella and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, regardless if they're moving slowly or not.
Yep. I don't know what to say after that. I'm 1,000% agree. There's really no follow up to that. The bro hit it right on the nail. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button.
Hey, man, I'm just honest.
Yeah. Like, we're seeing in the chat, Google invested $1 billion in 2 cloud data centers in Germany alone. I mean, this is where people, like my brother Peter Cottontail, you can tell that he's measured in his thoughts. He's done his research. He understands the lineage, whether he experienced it himself or not. He doesn't just go out there based off of emotion and just jumps to conclusions. The reason why I bring up stuff like NPD and all that stuff is for people that aren't like Peter or aren't like Storm and myself that have the lineage. You gotta understand this stuff and know this stuff. That way you won't be told any and everything for you to believe and be like, oh my God, Stadia's closing down in 5 minutes. A lot of y'all entertain and believe that stuff because y'all don't understand the fundamentals. And you gotta understand the fundamentals. Like a lot of these conspiracy theory corners, I say this all the time because I want y'all to know the truth. I've had people come to me and give me garbage stuff like, yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 was so horrible for Stadia that they're going to close down shop. They're looking to do it. And I heard it and I laughed at it. But other areas believed and fed on that because they don't have these fundamentals. You got to get these fundamentals. That way you won't think that the sky is falling every day, that the imps are coming out from under the ground with pickaxes at your toes. So you'll have a better understanding of what's going on around you. So, Peter, thank you so much for breaking that down, brother, because people need to hear it, man.
No problem, man. Just guys, please do your research. And if you haven't tried Stadia, it costs you nothing, not a cent, not a penny. You can try
Zero.
out Destiny 2
Zero.
completely free. Zero, exactly. Like, bro,
Mhm.
just try it and see for yourself, man. It's not that hard, and you're not sacrificing anything. If you want to get into the ecosystem, great. If you don't, whatever, it's fine. I don't care. Play on whatever you want to play, but at least give it a shot, because I don't see how you can claim something
Mhm.
if you don't have any
If you
idea
never
about it.
tried it,
That's impossible.
Man, I'm
you never
done.
tried it.
MM2K.
Go ahead, brother.
Welcome to SSC, where Peter Cottontail has become a permanent member.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Hey, Peter said
Permanent
I earned my
member.
spot. God damn it.
You know what I
He
mean?
said I'm on
The
this show.
SSC podcast. MM2K will
Man.
be moving on to greater ventures, but he will still be with PNTS Network. Peter Cottontail and I, however, are going to run the SSC podcast.
Damn, he's kicking me off while it's on my own channel. God, well, that ain't my channel. What the hell am I talking
Nah,
about? This what am I talking about? Yeah, kick my ass off. Yeah. But no, he took us to church, man. What are your thoughts on what Peter had to say? And it's just some of the silliness altogether, Storm. What are your thoughts?
Hey, I gotta agree with him, man. I mean, that's what it's about. It's kind of like you look. People might think that we get pleasure out of coming out here and combating the BS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's no pleasure in it. I
No.
mean, it's sad. It's sad that we had to come out here and do this week after week after week, expose the nonsense, man.
Mhm.
And we didn't even sign up for this. MM2K, Peter
No.
Cottontail, we didn't sign up for it, but we just heard so much just silliness,
Silly,
man, that's going
exactly.
on. It was just trash. Just let me put something out there that can convince people that Stadia is going to die, because we think it needs to die. And if it doesn't die in a hurry, we might be in trouble.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, that's what it's coming down to. People are going to try to convince you that Stadia it is or it isn't what it's supposed to be and all that stuff. It's just BS, man. I mean, Stadia is learning like any other company. So for them to be up here in any kind of discussion about, games coming out here, look, I always go back to the Ubisoft partnership, man. Ubisoft is okay. They probably got a bag here and there, whatever, right? A nice one. But there's other companies out here like EA, Take-Two. There's so many other companies out here with so many games. Why would Stadia and Ubisoft had that relationship if EA and Stadia couldn't, for example? So it's just, you just got to know how things make sense. And to me, I look at it from all angles, y'all. And I knew that these AAA games, these third-party games were going to be moving. They're going to be selling on Stadia. No matter how many players are on Stadia, no matter how many you think, whether that's 300, 3 million, 5 million, whatever, right? Does not matter at the end of the day, because you have gamers on the platform. So many gamers, y'all, that you hardly ever hear about the competition.
Yep.
You hardly ever hear about it. xCloud gets more buzz than GFN, in my opinion, because it's tied into Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, when was the last time you really heard people out here like backing PS Now? And I'm not taking a shot at PS Now. I think it's dope. I played it, got videos on my channel, right? How many people you see out here talking about Luna in the way that we talk about Stadia? The hate level does not go to Luna like it comes to Stadia. So it kind of like makes me forget about these other services, because everybody want to hate on Stadia. So you're really helping. I don't know, man. Don't get me started on this, man.
Bro,
It's just
I mean,
nonsense at the
when
end of the day,
people,
man.
it's like when people hate on something, it's they see it as like it's a threat somehow to their existence, which I'm not really sure why anyone would think that. They want it to shut down because they want to be right about Google's reputation. And don't get me wrong, they really do have a reputation, and there's a lot of really salty people that are mad as hell that Stadia exists because their favorite Google app, whatever, from Reader to Glasses to Screen, whatever, half the crap I never even used myself. It just died. Okay, fine. they're mad that their favorite stuff got taken away, so they want Stadia to die too, just to say, haha, look, Google killed it, their reputation holds, whatever, no one's going to trust them again. But what y'all don't get and what you need to understand is how much work and investment they're putting into Stadia from behind the scenes. If Google does pull this, they're going to lose every fan's respect,
Oh my
and
gosh.
Google's going to go down the tank quick. I can guarantee you that. They haven't hyped it up or anything like that. They haven't put in the amount of work that they have right now for no reason at all. So all I'm saying, man, is be patient. The games will come. They already said that they're going to be reworking their development process to make it more streamlined, which should allow for games to come smoother. There are developers that praise it. They say that the teams are pretty communicative. Granted, there's some bumps here and there, but y'all already know what happens within the Stadia community. If there's no communication, then the devs call it out. Everybody comes together and starts tagging whoever they need to tag to get their attention. And in most cases, that happens. They get their attention, and then the companies start talking between themselves. So shout out to you guys. You guys are all awesome, and that's all I really got to say on that.
Well, I want to close out with this, unless anybody else has any final thoughts on this subject matter. I do want to say that there's a lot of hoopla out there about Stadia. Every single day, there's something bad. Now, the narrative will be that this is only that Stadia is always doing something bad, and this is unique to Stadia. When the reality is, that's not the case. These are the normal ups and downs of all gaming companies. Even when you look at like right now with Xbox, even yesterday it seemed like that they dropped Starfield. Tomorrow, PlayStation dropped Wolverine, and they forgot about Starfield. Now everybody on Xbox want a superhero game, and so there's always ups and downs in gaming. It's more paramount with Stadia as far as cloud gaming is concerned, because nobody's looking at the other companies, because all the eyes are here. Like, are you really trying to tell me that Amazon ain't got no problems over there? No, it's just nobody cares. So they're not reporting it. If half as many people cared about what's going on over at Amazon as they do Stadia, as soon as something Stadia drops, guess what? Jack Fuster was in the bathroom 5 extra minutes. He was trying to get out the window from Stadia. You know, you would see just as many stuff. Like, a lot of y'all don't even know that since GFN, I could be wrong on this, maybe not at the retail release, but GFN has switched its chairman or whoever was heading GFN. Like, a lot of y'all don't even realize that. A lot of y'all didn't realize what I reported on the Ampere group, what they said about GFN. You know what I'm saying?
Give it to him, man, Moss.
Because everybody's eyes are on Stadia. If y'all put your eyes on these other platforms, do it the same way that y'all put on Stadia, and that's internally or externally, trust me, you would uncover a whole bunch of stuff. You can't Amazon? Man, please. Don't sell me that garbage. So there's reasons, agendas, whatever the case may be, that anything negative with Stadia has to be, bolstered up to the nth degree. You have to ask yourself, before I heard that garbage that really has nothing to do with me enjoying my game, did I even care? And if the answer is no, then turn your head and let the canoe people do what the canoe people do. All right. This is a 1% business, as we showed you on the screen. They're making very good trajectory. This might be a slower period as it relates to the games that we're seeing actually on the platform, or games that we know are coming to the platform. But there's ups and downs with every platform, all of them. Don't believe me? Go pick up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels for the umpteenth time that I've asked you. So those are just my thoughts. Like, a lot of this noise is hyperventilated. It's blown out of proportion. And you, as the gamer, you got to stop feeding it oxygen. If you stop feeding it oxygen, then you'll see it go away, for the most part. So those are my thoughts. Any closing thoughts before we move on to the last set of topics?
Nope. Not for me.
Nope.
All right.
Nope, that's it.
Well, with that said, let's get on to it. we kind of hinted to it, but let's talk about it overall. And that is this week on Stadia's blog posting. You know how we do. Let me show you something else. All right, and it reads as follows. This week on Stadia, 3 new games and a free demo. And it says one of the most beloved chapters in Assassin's Creed Saga sells on Stadia, that's Black Flag. We got Darksiders 3. We got Marik's Market. We got From Space, which I definitely want to talk about. And then we got some Get Dead by Daylight for Less. There's a sell on that. And then there's some sell on THQ stuff, Destroy All Humans, SpongeBob, and Darksiders Genesis now until September 28th. So let's start with this. Hold on. Something didn't. Oh, there we go. Okay. We talked about Black Flag. I think we covered that a lot. But would we be? And even though I'm not a big Assassin's Creed person, and I love that Darksiders, I got to look at things from 5,000 feet. Are we all in agreement that the biggest accomplishment this week was Black Flag, the 4K 60? Are we in agreement with that?
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I love that Darksiders. I think the Darksiders. I think the Jordan of the two is Black Flag, and Darksiders is Pippin. You know what I'm saying? Pippin can do some damage too, but Jordan is definitely that Black Flag. You know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about From Space. Pete, did you get a chance to play From Space? And if you did, what are your thoughts?
Man, so I actually did yesterday for like 20 minutes or so. And that game is hilarious. Okay, I love the music when the music starts getting all panic style and all the aliens or whatever, the globs start coming at you from all directions, bro. You gotta watch your back in that game because you be shooting in one direction, and if you don't look, bro, there's a whole nother squad just coming up on you, and I'm like, damn, where'd y'all come from? But hey, you just gotta rock the shotgun and all is good. Even the big guys go down in like 2 seconds.
Yep.
So it's a fun game. I like it.
Now, Storm, you haven't played it yet, right?
Nah, I'm playing it right now.
Oh, is it? Oh, you playing it? Hey, bro,
that's the beautiful thing about being in the cloud. A browser will allow me to play the game as we had the podcast simultaneously. That's dope.
While you're getting acclimated with it, I'm gonna give my thoughts, and then we'll get your early thoughts on it too. Like,
all right, go ahead.
Here's my thoughts on the game. I played it right before. I wasn't too far off from Storm. I played it right before we went live, and I actually it's a demo, and I actually beat the demo before we went live. I want to tell you that out of all of the indie games that I've played so far that are on the platform,
yes, sir,
that might be my favorite.
Oh,
even over Curse Boy, Wonder Boy. I said Curse Boy, got that.
Monster Boy,
Monster Boy, Monster Boy. Yeah, it's gonna be under Monster Boy, Curse Kingdom. Am I thinking about hamburgers? What the hell did I get Wonder Boy from? What is that? Ain't that the hamburgers or the pancakes? What the hell is that? I don't know. But
oh Lord, initial impressions. It's a 10 out of 10, bro. Like the controls, the fluidity, everything.
Right.
That game is crazy. Go give your thoughts.
I just went to a kiosk. Hold on, wait a minute. I know damn well. Now hold on. I just pulled up on the kiosk. You can hit the A button and it pulled up my friend list.
Yes.
You can easily invite players just like that without hitting any kind of guide button, without hitting another tab. That's dopeness. See, simple things like that is what I'm talking about. The gameplay, top notch, man. 10 out of 10 gameplay, the fluidity, everything, man. This game is now right now, early on. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. I played it. My favorite game, indie game, and there's some great indie games on there. That when we say this is the best, it's not black and white. It doesn't mean that the other ones are bad. No, that really boosts up the other one because there's some great indie games on the platform. I think Stadia's done a great job of getting some good indie games on there. But damn, that game is fantastic, and a lot of fun, and I couldn't stop it. Like I was late. I had to communicate with Pete so we can get him on the show and get him set up and everything. And I was late doing it because I couldn't put the controller down. It's like golly. So it's a great game, and definitely if you haven't played it, play it. Pete, I want to go back to you. Get your thoughts on this. Stadia has put this out there as a free demo. I think like Immortals Phoenix Rising, I almost did what I used to do a while ago. Immortals Phoenix Rising, they got as a free demo. Do you think that they're, I mean, how can I phrase this question? Do you think they're putting enough push behind this? Because this is a hell of a game to be playing, and if you want anything to highlight the ease of use of Stadia, this would be it. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, honestly, this is the first time that I've seen, I think that Stadia's even done. It's not the first demo because Phoenix Rising was their first ever demo.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's totally free, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you even need Pro for it, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So, dude, totally free multiplayer demo, and it costs you nothing to play, and you can play with all of your friends. You can get your whole squad up in there, totally free. Doesn't matter what device you're on. And nobody seems to be talking about it, like they're just dismissing it. And I don't see how you can't see how crazy that is.
It's important.
Like, I saw that and I was like, all right away. And you know what? To be honest, I wasn't even watching Twitter for it or any kind of news source for it to see if the sequel for It Came From Space was even coming.
Yeah.
But then I saw that demo on there, and then the demo confirmed it for me. I'm like, man, all right. I was like, clearly the game's going to be coming if they have a multiplayer demo on there. So really, that's my thoughts on it. And it's good that Stadia is doing this, and I really want them to do more of it and showcase that real ease of access that seems to be unparalleled to anybody else. I mean, yeah, you have GFN. Yeah, you have Luna. Yeah, you have xCloud. You have PS Now. And they all work great depending on what your niche is. I mean, some people just like one specific service. That's cool.
Yep.
But nobody has the ease of access for Stadia that is literally free to get into. Everybody else has a forced subscription to get into. Or like with PS Now, for example, you have to have a PlayStation controller. If you don't, it won't work. They have no mouse and keyboard support. GFN, you have to pay for it or you're limited to an hour. xCloud, you have to have Game Pass Ultimate to get access to xCloud. Then you have Stadia, and Stadia is free, and it's on any device you could pretty much imagine at this point. They're the only ones with an actual native TV app. I mean, GFN has one, but it's not a native app. You have to get it on the Chromecast with Google TV or Fire Stick or whatever. But they're the only one, dude, and the ease of access is incredibly easy, and that's why I love Stadia the way I do. It spoiled me when it comes to playing games.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate downloading things. I hate doing anything. Whenever I have to update a game, I kind of just lose the will to play right away because I don't want to wait, because all I do when I'm on Stadia is play. I'm talking to you guys and playing Black Flag right now at the same time.
Yep.
And it was like ease of access. That's all you need. I can sit there and chat and still play a game all at the same time without having to worry about performance drops or anything like that. I could carry it back onto my phone if I wanted to, and it resumes it instantly because they have the 15-minute window where you could just switch screens, or if it shuts off or whatever, you hop back in within that frame. Game plays exactly where it left off, whether you're playing multiplayer or not. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I'm highly impressed with the game. But to what Pete was talking about, Storm, I think that's. I want to get your thoughts on that too.
Oh yeah,
I think people don't get it. Like
they don't.
It reminds me of my brother Clavy Linden, my spiritual advisor. Remember when he did that infamous skit where the guy's like, he was trying to write on the chalkboard, cloud gaming, 100 or whatever. And he's like, no, I'm about Stadia. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. And what we're saying is, those of us that feel that way, it's not that the other platforms are poopity scoop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like when Project Storm goes and he says, I'm not dealing with 30 frames per second. He's not saying that 30 frames per second can't be enjoyed by anybody. What he's saying is these are my standards. This is what y'all aren't understanding. My standards are I need 60 frames per second. I want this resolution, these type of textures. You know what I'm saying? And people can dig that. They hit the like button. They say, yeah, Project Storm, I'm with you. What we're saying, when we say Stadia, like all of these cloud platforms across the board are not the same. We just got to keep it real like that. They're not the same. They don't perform the same across the board. Yes, catalogs are different, but the ease of use, latency, the tech, it's not the same. And I get that GFN may have ray tracing, or you can slide some dials on Amazon, and that's their amenities. Those are their perks. But the perks that we're talking about is we're talking about the clear stream quality. Stream quality is important to those of us that are big enthusiasts of Stadia.
Yes, sir.
The lack of latency. The multitude of ways that you can engage with games. Like, yeah, Amazon has the subs and the channels. But what if I want to buy something a la carte? You know what I'm saying? Or what if I want a subscription model like a Ubisoft Plus? Now, granted, GFN may have that, and you know what I'm saying. They you know, if you got Ubisoft Plus, you'll just have access to your games and all that good stuff. But a lot of the major publishers said, no, we ain't dropping our stuff on GFN, where I know that they're coming to Stadia. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not playing Madden 22 on GFN. You feel me? So, with that said, and the fact that that chart that I just showed you for NPD, the largest area, the largest region for platform gaming is North America. You didn't see GFN charting as much as Stadia did, right? So there's a clear strategy behind this. So what we're saying is that there's a certain set of standards that a lot of stadiums have that just are not satisfactory elsewhere. So when you tell us that, yo, you can get said game over here, don't get it on Stadia, we're like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care that it's over there. That's like telling me it's on the Hachitachi 2000 for 50 cents in a pack of Newports. I don't care. I'm not playing it. You feel, they keep underscore, they keep or missing the mark when it comes to the standards that we have. All these cloud platforms are not the same. And there are people that will listen to that and say, oh, okay, well, it's cool that it's over there. I don't mind the differences, or I don't know, there's no difference for me, so that's fine. But understand there's a clear, significant difference for us. And if you're not providing the things that we've been spoiled with by Stadia, just simply saying, well, it's over here for 35 cents and a banana peel, it doesn't matter. We don't care. And you cannot, and we don't want people overlooking those standards. So it's about Stadia, but it's also just as equally, if not more, about recognizing and appreciating the standards that we have. And I appreciate Amazon for having its sliders. I appreciate GFN for having ray tracing, but I need my 4K capability, or I need my clean streams, or I need the multitude of ability to interact with catalogs. I need the lack of latency. You know, those are the standards that I have. And until somebody else provides those standards, and the price, the ease of price. Somebody might say, well, Shadow got it. Well, Shadow's too damn high for me. The rent's too damn high. Shadow's too damn high over here. I can't do $30 a month for cloud gaming. Hell no. So I just want to throw that out there. Those are my thoughts. That's your boy's ramble. Any closing thoughts on that before we continue on with what's in this Tuesday blog?
Nah, but this game is definitely dope. And like now it reminds me of It Came From Space and 8-Eye Brain too. It's the same type of game or whatever. So, you know, but it's dope, man. It's I can't even lie. I can't even lie right now. I would love to play it with some other people. You know, that's something that I could do. I'm mad because I didn't join Squid when it comes to when he sent the invite out. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's cool. Now it doesn't have to be for everybody, but man, this right here is one you could jump into. It's beautiful. It just works good, man. Like games like this is what really showcases what Stadia is about, because there's literally no latency and all that stuff, y'all. The lighting is there, all that stuff is there, man. I'm gonna be playing this one though. I will be playing it. I know I say that and then I stop playing because there's other games out there, but I'm going live on this one is what I'm saying, and then you all will see, just like it did with. It came from Space and 8-Eye Brain. I had a hell of a time on the game. So, you know, Shout out to the devs.
Pete, let me ask you
What's
this,
up?
bro. Let me ask you this. And I'm gonna probably put this in the chat too. What is your ranking? What grade would you give this week's blog post overall? A, B, C, or D?
Honestly, I see Bob. I see Bob put B. Honestly, for Bob, I'm gonna have to one up you real quick. I ain't
Uh,
gonna give it an A because
okay,
they've honestly done better, but I'm gonna give it a B plus. I'm
a
gonna
B
give this
plus.
whole blog
Okay,
post. I'm gonna give this B plus for blog post this week.
okay, all right. So, um, Pete gives it a B plus. Storm, what do you give it?
I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it a I'll give it a flat out B. I give it a
Okay,
flat out B because see, you got to make room for those A's when the A
exactly.
drops. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I give it a flat B.
yeah.
Okay, I
You know,
see.
there's some stuff in here like this surprise right here that I'm on right now. I haven't stopped my moss. I can see why you kept on playing, bro. Like I
Yeah.
forgot about the damn objective, and I'm just running around just shooting enemies because
Just shooting enemies and
I can't
try to get
believe.
your arsenal up. Yeah.
But I can't believe how fluid everything is, man. I can believe it. See, when we say we can't, we really can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've been on the platform, but it's crazy, yo. This is how they're gonna capture new gamers.
Yep. Absolutely.
Crazy.
I
That's big.
I'm gonna give it a B minus. And I gave it a B minus because I want to like Storm said, I want to make room for when they like the blog posts that drop Dying
Yeah.
Light and drop Battlefield in the same, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to
Yes,
give
sir.
room for those, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why I'm gonna give it a B minus. Which I was at I was closer to a C plus yesterday. That's a big leap. I was at a C plus yesterday, and not because it was bad or anything. I thought it was marginal. It's just that I always got that business mindset. You got to make room.
Right.
But
Hmm.
with that said, me finding out that Black Flag was 4K 60,
That's
yeah,
there.
that did it.
Shoo.
That did it.
Hey, look, that's one of the games I would have missed. It's one of the only ones I really haven't. I haven't completed that one, Origins and Odyssey, right?
Okay.
But I didn't have any intention of going back and running and completing Black Flag or getting deep into that game, man. I was just ready to skip that
Uh,
until it hit Stadia, you know. So it's crazy.
um. So with that said, that's pretty much the our show this week, man. Hell of a first appearance by our good friend Peter Cottontail, man.
Yes, sir.
We might have the contract drawn up in the back, like you know what I'm saying.
You know,
Like, hey, yo, we might have a black van coming out for Pete. You know, we got the white van
yeah,
out there
yeah.
lingering for everybody else. We might have to have the special black van coming out for Pete. But no, Pete, hey, bro, thank you so much for coming through today, man. Hey, let the
No
good people
problem.
let the good people know where they can find you at, man.
All right, so y'all might have seen already earlier, but I'm primarily on Twitter. You can find me at foremost _GG on Twitter if y'all ever want to talk anything like that. I know I probably sound pretty aggressive on Twitter, but hey, I'm honest, bro. I don't care if someone says something back. I'm gonna say what I say, and that's how it is.
Right.
But if y'all ever want to talk, that's where you can find me.
Absolutely. Awesome stuff, bro. Project Storm, man.
What up?
Yeah,
What
hell of a
up?
show today, man. We'll let the good people know where they can find you at, and those that want to maybe see those Stadia console comparisons, where should they go?
Oh man, you can definitely subscribe. The link should be in the description. You can find the channel right now. You know, I'm dropping some 8K stuff, so you can always say you can search for Project Storm 4K, Project Storm 8K, Project Storm Stadia, and you'll find my avatar. And that'll be me, man. I appreciate everybody that subs. I always sub back. You know, got some big things coming up. I do play on multiple platforms, you know, but I love Stadia right now because Stadia introduced a new way to game. So for the people that wonder why I drop PC videos and I come back to Stadia, that is why. It's that simple, man. So you could also find me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac. I'm over there most of the time. laughing at Peter Cottontail, man, because he really be spitting the facts,
sure
and
do.
he says things that a lot of people don't want to say or might be afraid to say, and I can get down with it, man.
Bro, you
So,
gotta say it like it is, man.
yeah, you have to, man. Why play around? We're all
Yeah.
adults,
Facts.
you know.
Yep.
Facts.
Yeah,
That's
Appreciate it.
facts.
All right, and with that said, I'm your boy MM2K of the Stadia Dosage platform and of PNTS Network. You know, you can find me here, or you can find me on MM2K Videos channel at MM2K Videos on YouTube. You can also find the Stadia Dosage platform on Twitch at twitch.tv/Stadia Dosage Plus. And you can find me on Twitter at MM2K there. All right, with that said, hell of a show, y'all. Like I said,
Yes,
don't
sir.
forget this Sunday, we are going to have a giveaway extravaganza. 10 lucky winners are going to get $30 in credit. So definitely don't miss this numbers show on Stadia this Sunday. All right, now we got the after show. I don't know what Pete's going to be able to do because, you know, the brother be working.
I mean, I'm not really tired right now. This
Okay.
show kind of woke me up, so like I'm down to talk for a little bit longer.
Cool. All right, this might be a subject matter that'll get Pete even more percolated because we know he got his thing against Sony. This is the after party show will be Sony streaming going out of network. Is this something major for cloud gaming or streaming or whatever? Well, we're going to talk about it on the back end. So join us directly after this show. We're going to just talk about that for a few moments and get everyone's thoughts on that. With that said,
and wait.
Hey, appreciate everybody. Love y'all. And until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.
All right, y'all. Catch you soon.
All right,
you know what?
y'all.
Let me end this one poll. I almost ended. Okay. The one poll, which was, how do we think everybody did? I think 75% of the voters said B, and then I think Bob did D and everything else. So I just wanted to let it. Okay, there we go. 76% of the people said that the blog post was a B, and 7% across the board gave it A, C, and D. That's out of 13 votes. All right. With that said, thank y'all. Peace.